Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. This morning, this fine Sunday morning, there will be all those political pundits will be sitting there, reading the tea leaves, casting the runes, peering intently at the chicken gizzards as they try to eke out some kind of future view, some prophecy of what will happen. Because, dear friends, there are rumours, and that I stress only rumours, flying around. There is much by way of speculation. There are people having huddled conversations in corners that there's going to be an announcement from Rishi Sunak. Whether it is today or tomorrow remains to be seen. But the speculation is there that he is about to quit. He's about to drop on his sword. He realises that he has screwed up royally and that there is no way back. Now, by, quote, resign, what we really mean is the men in dark suits have had a little word and said if he doesn't go now, his destruction will be complete and inevitable. It has never, as far as I'm aware, ever happened before that a party leader of any party has quit midway through an election campaign. This would be a first, but it does go to show how badly this whole situation has been handled. It is a complete and utter pig's breakfast that he's made of it, and it's not surprising. It is absolutely not surprising. I mentioned in the previous video, this is a man who's got no understanding of British history, heritage, or culture. He's got no understanding of the zeitgeist, nor of how deeply offensive what he has done truly is. But where, of course, are these rumours coming from? Well, apparently they are swirling through the upper echelons of the Tory party. There's people having huddled meetings. There's people having phone calls, secretive texts. And one or two people in relatively, shall we say, knowledgeable positions have intimated and said that there may be noises. Indeed, and not that one should ever sort of believe anything that she says, but even Nadine Dorries has come out and said that she believes the announcement will be made today. Now, you have to ask who could possibly take over. After all, Parliament has been prorogued. There are no MPs. This is true. However, whilst upon the closure of Parliament for the election poll means that there are no MPs, they have all been effectively fired on that day. There are still ministers of state. They have to, by law, remain, and they remain until the new government is announced. And as soon as it's been confirmed, then they resign. And as the new Prime Minister, because it will be a new Prime Minister, takes over and appoints each new minister, that minister is instantly at that moment replaced. That's how it works. It's so that there's always someone in the role, effectively. Now, that means that any Prime Minister has to come from current ministers. But really, look around them. Which of those ministers is prime ministerial material? Which of them would be acceptable? Which of them is even possible? Well, the speculation, again, is rife about that. And currently, the favourite is Lord David Cameron. Yes, I know he's a Lord, but it's not unprecedented. One can have Prime Ministers who were in the House of Lords. After all, wasn't Alexander Douglas Hume a Lord? Lord Hume. He was a Lord who was the Prime Minister. Just because it hasn't been done for a long time doesn't mean it's wrong. And indeed, one looks through history and sees the likes of Lord Halifax, Lord Salisbury, Lord Liverpool. These are lords who were prime ministers. There's no requirement for a prime minister to be a member of the House of Commons. It just means that PMQs, he has to have a deputy. And I would love to see Jacob Rees-Mogg take that role up. But that's for another day, another parliament, and who knows? will Jacob Rees-Mogg even be in Parliament come the next election? To be honest, it's not looking likely. And so they have this problem. They've got a man who it looks like may well be quitting either today or tomorrow. They've got a man lined up who is in the House of Lords, and yet they have no hope of winning the election. But it would be unprecedented, as I say, for a leader to go midway through a campaign. Now, over time, and we've seen in history, and indeed I recently did a video about this, party leaders who've made such spectacular gaffes that the moment they've made them, they've realised that was the moment that they've lost the election. Indeed, it's become almost traditional now for somebody to make such an appalling gaffe that they know they're finished, and they know they're finished the very moment they've made it. And for Rishi, it was pissing off, leaving the D-Day celebrations. But one only has to look at, say, Ed Miliband and the bacon sandwich incident. The moment that photograph was released, he knew Labour had lost. And then, of course, Neil Kinnock falling over on the beach. He knew the moment he did that, Labour had lost. And then there was the likes of Michael Foot wearing a donkey jacket at the Remembrance Day parade in London. And he knew the moment he'd done that, Labour had lost. And it's been like this time and time again. Bad choices, badly handled, and then instead of just coming out and apologising, spin gets in the way. This time spin isn't enough, and someone must fall. This time, surprisingly, and indeed astonishingly, it looks like it's going to be Rishi Sunak himself. There's no getting around it. He did it, his decision. And if it wasn't his decision, it was a policy wonk saying we've got to go, etc. He should have had the nous to say, no, this is more important. So good. Let's see the back of him. He wasn't wanted by the rank and file members of the party. He backstabbed Boris in order to get into the position. Nobody wanted him. Nobody likes him. Even his own people are saying he's a bully and he's overweening and he pushes things that he's got no right to have. This, of course, is a man, as I say, who has no understanding of our culture. Well, let's let him use his green card. Let him take his untaxed billions and let him piss off to America. I'm sure they'll love him. But it's such strange times we live in. Thanks very much for listening. Take care. Goodbye.